Hello, everyone. This is Charlie Tian, GuruFocus again. Very glad to see you again, and I hope everyone's having a great summer. And I'm having a great summer here in Texas. It's not that hot this year. Usually, this meeting is at the first week of each month, but due to my time conflict, we're at the second week for this month. But from next month on, it will still be on the first week of each month, first Wednesday of each month. And hope to see you every time and don't miss me. And hope everyone's having a great time, great summer again. And if you hear me, if you hear me clearly, and tap in the area, in the chat area, and say something, let me know that you can hear me, and say hello to me. Tell me where you are, and I'll be very happy to hear from you. Now, again, this is a user engagement meeting, and I will introduce you some new features we have done as usual. And also at any time, if you have questions, please feel free to ask me in the chat area, and I will answer your questions as best as I can. And one feature we added lately is a user account area, and it's mainly for the premium members. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. Okay, let me share this. Okay, I shared my screen here. And if you come to GuruFocus homepage, okay, let me close this area. And under your username here, my username is GuruFocus, and under your username, there is my account. If you go there, click on my account, and you can see your membership status, your membership level, either it's a premium or premium plus. And if it's a premium, you can always upgrade it by clicking here. You can update your payment information. You can cancel request to cancel your membership here. And also you can see the regions you subscribed, and you can add more regions here. And number of seats. Usually everyone have one seat. One seat allow you to have 3 devices. And these 3 devices are usually 2 computers and one mobile device. And you can add more seats so that you can have more devices to use. And okay, one frequent request we have is a receipt, and actually the payment history will be is here, and you can click on each one of them to print a receipt. And I know that lots of people need that for tax purpose. And okay, and also here my profile. Under my profile, you can change the your email address. You can change your password. Of course, then we have some information like your name, your username, and you can add a short biography there, and some survey, some of your own information. We also have an affiliate program. If you run a website, or if you do YouTube channels or other social media, you can create, you can join our affiliate program to share the links, and you'll be making commission of the sales from your links. And okay, that's a main. Okay, we also have a notification area here. You'll see the notifications if we send you, and you will also get notifications if you're participating in a discussion or those kind of activities. And we are also adding the tabs where you can access your portfolios directly, your portfolios, your screeners directly from here, and it's still in the process. You should be able to see that shortly, and I think I should be able to share that with you in our next meeting. Yeah, that's my account area. Again, it's under your username and the first menu where you can check out your membership status. You can update your information, and you can add more regions, etc. That's one area we changed. We changed lately, and also the bigger change. Actually, we're always making a lot of changes to the website. The bigger change actually happened back on the background, and we upgraded the servers again. Actually, over the past two weeks, all the servers are upgraded again, and I hope that website is more stable and it's faster, especially for Excel add-ins and APIs. If you're not familiar with our Excel add-in, you can come here under screeners, there's tools menu, there's Excel add-in. We have lots of users who are using this. You can install the Excel add-in into your computer, and so this is a demo. You will be able to download data directly from our server and to build your own model, your own templates. We have some existing templates here, but you can build your own templates and work on your own computer, but downloading data from us and working on this Excel add-in. With this, we have set up dedicated server for Excel add-ins. I believe the speed should be much faster. And okay, that's what I hope that everyone will be using this function. It's really make it convenient if you're checking out your own portfolios, things like that. Okay, thank you, Christopher. I will address other questions. Yeah, we did a major upgrade at the backend to the servers. We're now running a lot of servers supporting this website, and I hope that it's working better. Okay. Okay, now let me go to the screeners, the major upgrade we did actually, which I think Charles said, yeah, the new maps and bubbles. Yeah, we added a map and bubble function here, and we also add a statistics chart here, but we're still working on the statistics chart. And here is just the bubble I will show you. Okay, as if I close this part, make the screen bigger, make the screen bigger. Okay, and if you come to this, you can see the map. Okay, his Charles is saying it's not working, but it's working for me. If it's not working for you, it's maybe it's possible. Maybe this is a new feature. Maybe it's related to some operating system or something. It can happen. But I would suggest you to create a ticket and send us a screenshot of what you see, and then our developers will be working on it. To create a ticket, you can see here under support, there is a support menu, then create a ticket, and our developers will get it. And here you can see the charts. If you have a bigger screen, this screen I'm using, it's relatively small, but if you have a bigger screen, you can see, okay, this is SP500. In this case, I didn't select anything, so it's SP500 chart. So it shows 500 companies in the SP500 index, and it's ordered, okay, the market cap. Then it displays the days change. The color here displays the days change. And the color code is here. And of course, you can change to other parameters. You can see the, weeks change, the price change during the past week. And you can see the financials banks was not doing very well. Financials is not doing very well. Healthcare was doing pretty well, and the consumer defense is doing well. So you can have very easily to have an overview of what's going on with the market. And if I change to year YTD change, And you can see the year-to-date the performance. You can see that most of the sectors are doing well actually this year. And if I okay, you can zoom in actually. You can zoom in into the each sector, so that you will know that which one is working better during the. If I zoom in and I move it here, you can see that okay, I zoom in the banks. You can see that which one is working better here. And you can see JP Morgan, Bank of America, all the returns from the banks. And of course, then you can check other parameters. And you can see PE ratio, PB ratio. In fact, in this case, I check PB ratio, price to book ratio. And they will show you the price to book ratio of different companies, SP 500, in SP 500. And from the color code, you can see that banks on the top right and top left corner here has the lowest price to book ratio. And it has all the functions all the parameters you can think of. You can also search if you don't know where it is. You can search, for instance, here EV to EBITDA, which is also a commonly used parameter, and you can search it. You can see how it goes, because for banks, EV to EBITDA is not very meaningful. So that's why on this area we don't display it, but for other insurance and other companies, we do display it. Okay, let me check the questions now. What questions do we have? Okay, yeah. Possible to have a place for people to share different Excel add-in files. I think it's a good idea, good suggestion. Graham, can you write down this, and we will share this with developers, and they should be able to add them. Okay, and any update on founder-led companies? I did research on that. And we don't have the data for that. So we cannot add founder-led companies at this point. Okay, George, okay, I'll be a little bit slower. I will go a little bit slower, yes. And okay, so I think that's a great suggestion. I think that's a great suggestion. We will go through that. We will have places. I think we'll have places to share the exciting, to share actually even other files, as long as we can work on the security issue to make sure that everything's secure. We do sometimes, when we allow upload files, we do face that kind of challenge. Okay, let me continue on this bubble chart and map. What I just used in general, it was and it's a screener without any filters. Now, if I come back to, come from scratch, and I said come to the screener, and for instance, I want to filter for companies. I'll filter companies with at least 100 billion in sales, and my company is listed in USA and Asia. So there are lots of companies, and here you can see that, of course, there are different exchanges. Just to make it easier, I select US here, and there are 51 companies with more than $1 billion, more than $100 billion of sales. And I want to set another one. For instance, I want to have high quality companies. So I want to have a Petrosky score at least 6. Now I have only 26 companies. And of course, I can add others. I can add a PE ratio. The PE ratio, I want PE ratio maximum 30, for instance. And now I have 21 companies. And I can add more. I can add lots of other filters here. I want the growth, the revenue growth, 5-year growth, at least, for instance, 10%. And this is a very hard requirement already, actually, because we're talking about big companies with at least $100 billion sales with 5-year growth of revenue growth average of at least 10%. Now I only have 8 companies left. And I want to see more. I want to look at, I can, of course, click on this. I can look at the chart. This is a GF value chart. You can clearly see which ones, in our opinion, which ones overvalued, which ones are undervalued, the performance. And now you can look at that in a map also. Map tells you the performance, and by default, it shows today's stock performance. If we change to others, I want to see the annual performance for all of these companies. And okay, if I select, okay, let me see the bubble. Okay, I see the bubble. I use a bubble chart. If I change to other parameters, I change to year to date change, can see the performance. And I should be able to look at the map also. Okay, this is the Y2D change of these companies. And the company that I selected, you can see that, okay, only JD, and I think it's a Jingdong, it's a Chinese online company. Only that went down. Everything else went up quite a bit. United Healthcare went up more than 20%. And this filter, of course, I am using, make it very, very strict. If I remove the growth filter, now I have 21 companies. I can see the performance. Still can see that every company went up except JD.com. Now I can look at the PE ratio, for instance. I can look at the PE ratio of these companies, and it's color-coded. You can see that United Healthcare has the highest PE. And then I can look at the dividend payout ratio. I can look at the dividend yield. For income investors, it's quite important to look at the dividend yield. Which one has the highest dividend? And like PTR, S&P, these two Chinese oil companies, they all have very good dividend yield. And this is, I think, Walgreens Boots has more than 4% dividend. And yeah, that give you a very good indication of where the distribution is. And of course, you can look at the gross margin and look at the margin. Which one has the highest margin? Home Depot has 33.94% of gross margin. And so it can stand out to make the good ones stand out. And now I'm looking operating margin. So Home Depot also has a very high operating margin. And okay, let me go through the question again. Let me go through question again. Okay, thank you for the good word funded for non-performing loans, amount of float and cost of float. Okay, I'll come to that later. We do have operating data. Okay, a Value Campus is asking, when using two regions, how to list the company just in the original region? And it's a good question. And let me show you how to do it. If I come to this active filters, which shows a list of the companies, when I click on Asia, and can see that companies will show up multiple times. Because, for instance, they're traded in US, and they're also traded in UK or in Europe. if in a very obvious, okay, Apple, for instance, Apple here, Apple listed twice because it's traded in US and also in Russia. And Microsoft lists twice also. And how do I display only the home exchange? Actually, it's called home exchange. And when I select companies that's traded in home exchange, it should only display the home exchange. So where it is, it's actually, if I don't know, I can search. I think, home exchange. Okay. There's a one filter says from home exchange. So if I display from home exchange again, it should only display the primary exchange where the stock was listed. So this time you can see that Apple just once, Microsoft once, Amazon, Alphabet, and Tencent. Tencent, although it's traded in Hong Kong. It's also traded in US. And if I use this one, you can see that, okay, now it displays only a home exchange. Also, yeah, as Fuqiang suggested, we also have a country filter here. And country filter, which it's a country of the headquarters. So if you want to choose a company by the headquarters, where the headquarters are, you can use this one. And it's a headquarter country. And but Tencent, for instance, its headquarters is not in Hong Kong, but it's primarily exchange, primarily traded in Hong Kong. So that's why the home primary exchange is here, home exchange, where I'm using this home exchange filter. Okay, let me look at the question again. How to find earnings season opportunities? Any predictive or useful tools? We have analysts data. We have forward earnings data, but we don't have things like earnings surprises or those kind of. We have a earnings date, so it tells you when the earnings coming. I think earning date. If I search it, yeah, we have a filter called next earning date, and you can check that for next earning date in how many days. So it shows you next earning date. For instance, United Healthcare's next earning date will be tomorrow. And the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturer Corp. Next earning date will be the day after tomorrow. You can filter those, but we don't have things like it will filter like the earning surprises or those kind of things. And here I've been using this. I've been using the active filters, but when there are filters that you want to display, but it's not here. For instance, here we have those filters, and the filters are listed here. But if you want to see PE ratio of these companies, but you don't want to filter on PE, you just want to see PE. What do? You come here actually. When you put your mouse on, there's a little eye here, and when you put your mouse on it, the eye will say add to the view. So you can click on that, and it will add the PE ratio here. So it does not filter on PE ratio, but you can see the PE ratios of the companies that's in the filter. And one feature we developed also for the Premium Plus members is to filter on historical data, which is represented by this plus sign. Plus sign, for instance, okay, this plus sign, if you click on that, you can filter on the historical data. Here I use market cap. For instance, if you want a company which has market cap from 2008 to 2020, grow by 5% a year, then you just use this, or you want to grow by 8% a year. You change the number, it will filter for you. You can see that it displays 3 companies, Microsoft, Amazon, and Signal. Cigna, and their market cap growth more than 8% over the past 3 years. That passed the test. So that's why it's displayed here. And this plus sign also becomes positive. I click on it again, and I click on enable. I check out enable. So it's not enabled anymore. So in this way, I come back to my last list. Okay, now let me check the questions again. How many queries will be count Excel queries if I use Excel query, equity screen? Yeah, if you have a Premium Plus member, you have unlimited queries. With Premium member, it's 2,000 queries a month. It's mainly for your testing purpose. But if you have a Premium Plus membership, you have unlimited use of Excel add-ins. Okay, let me come back to the question. Okay, there's a non-performing loan question. I'll go back to that one. Let me read the question. Okay. Any more questions on the Excel add-in? I mean, on the all-in-one screener and the map function and the bubble function. Map function and the bubble function here. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, when you have an active screener and you come here, this will display the companies you filtered. You can see here the large companies are mainly US companies. Here, lots of smaller companies in Taiwan and in different places. Okay, and okay, another thing related to screener. Of course, we have a pre-existing screener. If you come back to the homepage, we have created a lot of pre-existing screeners, which is listed here. And I personally use lots of this. For instance, I personally like this high quality companies. And just like I wrote in my book, invest in good companies only. That's why I created a high quality screener. If I come here, I click on this high quality screener, the existing filters should be set up already. The filters set up for you automatically already. And you can work on this. You can make changes. For instance, you can add more requirement on Z score, on F score. You can make change on it. Once you make change, you can save it. You can save it as your own screener. And once you save it, next time you can come here, it will be listed under my screeners, and it should display automatically for you. And once you have those, you come here and you bring it up in one click. You can see the companies that passed your screeners. In my case, it passed my high quality screener, and there are 16 companies in the US and 16 stocks in the US actually. And you can see that now I check out them in map, and I click on map. These are the companies that passed my screens. And if I click on that, somehow this button seems to be not working. There's a bug there, seems like. But if I come to bubble, it shows a bubble chart. And if I come here and okay, now you can see the YTD change. If I go back to the map, you can see the YTD change. You can see the different changes. You can see the different yield of the companies that passed my screen. Seems like only Intel and the Fast now is doing well on dividends. But you can check the P/E ratio. You can compare them, and the lowest one will show up immediately. And I hope you can use this. Yes, you can also, okay, MBM 446. You're asking about the screeners, a customized screener. Yes, and you can create your own customized screeners, which is under here. If I come to the top, if I come to the top of the screen again, and we have a customized, if I come here, we have a customized tab here. And the customized tab is for you to create customized screeners, customized filters. And it's very, very easy to do. You come here, there's an add filter button here. You can add filters, then all the filters will be listed here. All the existing filters will be listed here. You can select or you can search from them. You can search from them. You can search, for instance, EV. You can search enterprise value. You can search them, enterprise value. And then you can use a divide, and you can, now you search free cash flow, for instance, or it's called FCF, I think. Free cash flow. Free cash flow. We should have a free cash flow FCF. Cash flow from operations. I believe we have a free cash flow. We'll check that. And if I search for cash flow from operations use case, okay, you should be able to create your own filter and to do all this, to display our results, and then to filter on this. You should be able to do that. Then you can set up a range, and you can set up things to the value of 10. You should be able to filter on the filters. And you can see in this case, when I add, okay, it says no data. But that's how it works. If you try different filters. Okay, let me try this. Someone's okay telling me. Yeah, cash flow statement. Okay, yeah, free cash flow is probably here. Free cash flow. Somehow it's not searching. Searching does not show up. Okay, searching is only searching this one, and I will make it sure that when you search, it searches everyone. It's here. Okay, EV2. Yeah, free cash flow here. Yeah, and in this way you can you should be able to do the searches, to do the customized filtering. You can delete the ones you can deactivate the ones you choose, and then when I use this one, you can see that it's the results here. Results, it shows here. Results is displayed there. Yeah, and that's how it works. That's how customized filter work. And if you have more questions, please feel free to ask me. I will certainly do my best to answer your questions. And some features are we keep developing new features, and some, like the map feature or a bubble chart feature, we're adding, and sometimes they may still have some problems, but let us know when you find anything that's not working, and let us know. Okay, now I come back to the question, and I see the question about non-performing loans, those kind of things. And yeah, let's try a company, for instance, called Comerica Bank. It's a bank based, I think, in Texas area, commercial bank. And if we want to check the non-performing loans, I think it's called operating data. And under operating data, you can check out the tier 1, tier 2, those important parameters for banks, and that's what we provide for and then you can compare with different banks their performance numbers, Merck here and JP Morgan, Bank of America here, charge-offs, commercial mortgage-backed loans, what kind of loans they have, total number, okay. Yeah, that's where we have the operating data for the banks. But you're asking for non-performing loans. I don't see it here. Non-performing loans, you can see the charge-offs. Okay, charge-offs to the, I think this net charge-offs, that's closer to the non-performing loans. What else you're asking? The operating data is something we added lately. Okay. Yeah, I don't see non-performing loans for commercial bank, but it may be available for other banks. Well, let me click around. This one is called TD Bank, the Canadian bank. It's called net charge-offs. I think that's the closest I can see here. But it's not non-performing loans. That's a charge-off. Let me click on other banks in Citigroup. Okay. Yeah, we do have a net charge-offs, which is linked to non-performing loans. You can see the different tier of capitals here, tier 1 capital, tier 2 capital, that kind of parameters. But that's what we provide here. Okay. Any other questions? Let me go through the questions here. Let me go. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want to mention about the operating data. That's the operating data we recently added, and we also add that into the definition link. Definition link here for different type companies. We added different definitions. Here you can go through them. Okay, for instance, banks efficiency overhead ratio. You can see how it's defined, how it calculated, and what it means, and also can compare with other banks of this on this parameter. And in this case, for instance, the efficiency ratio where Citigroup stands compared with other banks. Wells Fargo seems to be best on the efficiency ratio. It's under the definition and operating data. You can check out every operating data. And let me talk a little bit more on this one. For instance, Walmart, which is a retail company. And when you come to the operating data, you will be seeing different operating data. You see number of stores, number of store opened, number of store closed, changing same-store sales, sales per store. Those you can see the important parameters for the retail companies. You can also see the comparisons, number of stores at different period of time, number changing same-store sales. That's one of the most important parameter for retail companies. If I click on that, you can see it's sorted. And Lowe's has a highest same-store sales. Yeah, tractor supply companies. That's that's the most important measure of retail stores, and also airlines. For instance, American Airlines. You can see the difference. You can see the difference in different companies and operating data. Okay, operating data. operating data for airline companies. You can see the fuel expense and passenger revenue, and also see the comparison of different airlines, how they do revenue, passenger revenue, and available seats. You can compare here with different airlines, different companies. Again, they're also under definition page where you can, it's under the operating data, and you can check out the details. That's operating data. That's the data we added several months ago just to provide more data to our users. Okay, now I'm checking the question again. Christopher's asking how to obtain USP from the industry data in GuruF or GuruE. Do you mean industry? I think you probably mean industry overview data here. I think it's under, I think you should be, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. You're talking about the C, you're talking about the P ratio, like this data of different sector industry data. I think it's in the GuruE data, but I'm not, I remember we work on it, but I'm not sure the status. Okay. Currently doing it by downloading it. In GuruF, we should support, in XID, we should support GuruF, GuruE, and GuruG. GuruG is for Guru data. GuruE is for economic data. It's for the, here, for the economic data here. And yeah, I think we can add it in if it's not there. We should be able to add them in if it's not in the GuruE data. Okay, yeah, Grant, please take a note there also. Yeah, we do get lots of requests every day actually, and sometimes it takes us a while to work on new features. Especially a lot of time we work on the backend, like server upgrades, fixing server. We spend lots of time on it, but it does not show up to the users, and that's that's where we are. Okay, now questions. Okay, how to evaluate bank? How to value banks? How to value banks? That's a very good question, actually. And Warren Buffett once said, bank is like a black box, or Charlie Munger said. I think one of them said, or both of them said, bank is like a black box, and it's very hard to know what is going on in a bank. So that's why even Warren Buffett made mistakes on Wells Fargo, and he invested in Wells Fargo for, I think, 30 years, and he didn't make much money out of it. Whereas Wells Fargo was his largest holding for many years, actually, for not long ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, Wells Fargo was his largest holding, but he actually did not make much money off it. He said, yeah, bank is like a black box. So for banks, I think the most important thing is not the valuation ratio like PE, PB, or PS, those kind of things. It's more about you really know the bank, you understand the bank, and the non-performing loans is a very important factor. How they charge off the loans, how they reserve for the loan loss, and that's the most important thing. Peter Lynch wrote in his book, I think in Beating the Street, writing about investing in savings and loans. In saving and loan company, he likes those companies, small banks, and I like small banks too. Small banks are much simpler, easier to evaluate. And one ratio he was mentioning is equity to asset ratio. You want the banks have equity to asset ratio as high as possible. I think the regulation requires they have at least 5% of equity to asset ratio, but I will personally usually expect they have 10% equity to asset ratio. So in this way, when they have some loan problem, they have a cushion, you have a margin to overcome that problem. And once you have a good quality bank, then usually bank is evaluated with price to book ratio. And you can look at the price book ratio. I think around 1 would be reasonable, or a little bit slightly higher than 1. Also, the growth is important. How fast it grow. Even during the growth, the quality of the loan is not affected much. That's my opinion. And banks, insurance companies are, also insurance companies, good ratio will be price book ratio also. And let's look at an example here. Why bank price book ratio works for banks? Because bank earnings, here I use Bank of America example, bank earnings can be affected very much by the economic situation. Just look at the, let's look at the earning here. And I'm checking net income for Bank of America. If I check off the price, you can see that the bank earnings are affected dramatically by the economic status. And like Bank of America was affected dramatically here. In 2008, 2009, their earnings can come from very high earnings to loss. In this case, Bank of America had a loss in 2011. And then it comes back when economic situation gets better. And then last year, because of the pandemic, and it came down again. So when you look at the banks, the earnings will not tell you a very good picture. So usually it's good to use price book ratio. A price book ratio will work better. For instance, okay, I just look for book ratio here. No, sorry, it should be this book ratio. Book value, okay, book value. I look at the book value of banks. And you can see it's this purple line. So even during the financial crisis, they have to make some charge-offs, so their book value reduced some, but it does not fluctuate that much. And it doesn't go to loss. It doesn't change that much. And so book ratio also, book is the earning power of the bank. How big is the book? Book is for a bank, and it shows the earning power of this bank. So that's why price book ratio works better, especially price tangible book. And it's a good ratio to work with when investing in banks. So that's why I'm displaying the price book ratio here. And if I turn off the price, you can see that the price book ratio of Bank of America here. We can see that it seems like the best time to invest was 2012. If we look at the price book ratio, let's see, if we invest in 2012, which is here, actually it's really close to the lowest point for Bank of America. Bank of America price was only less than $6 back then, and it's the best time to invest in banks. So again, price book ratio is a better ratio to invest in to value banks, but you do need to make sure the book is real book. Book is equity. The equity is real, and there's not much risk with charge-offs to the equity, which is the loan loss caused by loan loss. And if you have more questions, please feel free to ask in the comment area, and I will do my best to answer your questions. We have only 10 minutes left. And one area I'm not sure if people are paying attention to is the industry overview. And I suggest you to look at this area. It tells you the valuation of different sectors and different industries of, yeah. And for instance, if you want to check the sector with the lowest P ratio, just come here, click on the P ratio, and you will see the sector with the lowest P ratio. Of course, the highest P ratio is here. And also, or maybe you can check out the dividend. And the dividend, you want to check out dividend, it's dividends here. Which sector has the highest dividend? Tobacco products has highest dividend here. Asset management companies, REITs, and yeah, or growth. Yeah, you can check out all this here and compare with different companies. The different payout ratio. Yeah, that's where we yeah, that's where I found cheap companies actually. And someone is asking me about how to value REITs. I'm not an expert in REITs, and my understanding is you need to look at the fund in, fund out. It's called a fund flow. You need to look at those and look at the price to FFO. I think fund flow. What's FFO stand for? But we do have data for that. Our screener will work for that, and our screener will work for. I remember we have a valuation just for the REITs. It should be, yeah, price to FFO. That is we add this just for REITs. So that's something you can use for valuation of REITs, REIT companies, and you can select in industry. In the industry area, you can select the REIT companies only. Yeah, real estate here. If you come here, you select REITs only, and then this will only list the companies that are categorized as REITs, and you can see the price to FFO here. Okay, actually, fund from operations. If you put mouse here, we explain price to fund from operations. And I personally is not an expert with REITs, but I understand that with REITs mainly probably you want to invest for dividends. You can check out the dividends of different companies. You can filter it if you want at least 5% dividend. Usually you expect a higher dividend with REITs. Yeah, you can filter them. You can see the price to FFO and the dividend yield. That can be quite useful when you want to filter them. Then you can go through every company. And you can go through every company to look at the operating data. I'm not sure if we have covered. Yeah, we do have covered. Number of properties, the debt, lease termination revenue, rent per square feet, rentable square feet, the size of them. Yeah, we have planned to add this operating data into the screener again, or we have plans to add the screener into the screener, but we have not been able to do it. Okay, how to check out your outstanding Excel add-in quota? I think it's in the Excel add-in page. If you come here, add Excel add-in, it should show your monthly Excel add-in usage. You should be able to see it here. Okay, does GuruFocus show the number of analysts covering the company? No, we don't show that. Okay, using Netflix as example, how do I can use GF value to evaluate the momentum of this stock? Let me try it. Okay, if I come to the Netflix, and we don't have lots of technical chart or things, but we do have some. If you come here, we have technical data here, and here shows the ratios that's used by technical investors. But personally, I really don't know very much about those, and I never use them. We do provide that here, but I'm not an expert. I actually don't even know how to use sometimes I don't even know what they stand for, and it's just my limitation. So, or the area of my interest, I just never use technical analysis. So, but that's what we provide. I hope it's useful for you, George. Not sure, but give it a try. And if you have suggestions to make it better, we may be able to do it. But actually, none of us is expert on technical analysis. Okay, our meeting is coming to the end. If you still have questions, yeah, please ask now, and I will do my best to answer your questions. And I do found some bugs in the new area where in the maps and bubble chart we're using, but we'll work on it. Amazon, Jeff value, fair value, all the don't reach. Yeah, if I come to Amazon, Jeff value, we said it's fair valued as it is here. We said it's fair value, but none of this is reaching it. It's true, yeah. Amazon has been a growth story in many years. In earlier years, they don't have much earnings, although their cash flow was actually pretty good. So all the traditional ratio like PE or earnings power, net asset, it just even discount cash flow, it just didn't apply to Amazon in that case. And that's why one reason we developed the GF value valuation method to make it work for every company, most of the companies that have enough financial data, enough history. And in my opinion, Amazon is fair valued. I personally has a small position in it, and that's where we are. Okay, if you have more questions, please ask me, and I'll be here for another few minutes. If we don't have questions, I will finish this meeting soon. Okay, so the next meeting will be on, as usual, the first Wednesday of August. So it'll be August 4th. And the next meeting will be August 4th, the same time on August 4th. And I hope to see you all again. Hope that okay, Chow, I see your question, and I hope to see all of you again next time in August meeting. And in the meantime, if you can always contact us with the support ticket here. Also the chat support. We have a active chat support during business hours. Anytime you can during the business hours, during 9 to 5 Central Time, US Central Time, and we'll always have someone here to help you with the chat support. Again, thank you all for joining me today, and I hope to see you all again next time in August 4th. Thank you all.